Well, welcome to Around the Block. It is Friday, April 24th. Happy Friday to you guys.
Hey, buddy.
Friday.
So glad it's finally the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
We got Kent and Jacqueline with me today. I'm Adria Goins. You guys got any big plans for the weekend?
I don't really have any big plans right now. I've had some flowers I need to plant.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What about you, Jacqueline?
Well, I'd love to go see what we got going on at the Arts Festival downtown.
Yes.
I'm probably going to spectate the marathon. It goes by my house, so I feel like I should
you
wave
have
and
to.
cheer for
Oh,
everybody.
by all means. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have the marathon runners going by your house, you got to get out there and get. You know, what would be really fun is if you and your kiddo came up with some really creative signs.
We do, and I
Okay.
always get emotional because it's just I'm on the big Gorilla Hill.
Oh, you are? Uh-huh.
And so people, they're at a breaking point.
Yeah.
You really got to motivate them.
Sure.
It always just gets me in my feels because they're doing it in remembrance of the Oklahoma City bombing, and it's just a really special event.
Yeah. And for some folks, they've been training a long time, and that's kind of where they're hitting the wall, and they need that extra help.
Yeah.
And you out there with some very creative and funny signs.
I may dress up as a banana.
Hey, there you go. Gorilla Hill banana. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
We've run a couple of half marathons, myself and
That's cool.
some of my friends. And I can remember getting to a point where I thought, okay, I have to push through or I'm going to stop. And I don't want to do that.
Yes.
And the spectators really help a lot with that.
Yeah, it's fun to have them. I've only done the 5K, but it's still fun just to have them there kind of rooting you on.
Yeah. It's a busy weekend in Oklahoma
It
City.
is.
this
So
weekend.
much
So
to
much
do.
happening, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I too need to plant. I have some tomato plants that are just ready to get in the ground, and it's been busy, obviously.
You're going to give them a go, huh? I've tried tomato. I've done tomatoes, and I've had real success. I've had really bad years, too. So maybe I'll give it another go this year.
You should. And I know, which you are a plant enthusiast. You plant a lot, but I know that there after a while, once you've planted your tomatoes in the same spot for a couple of years, you got to move them.
Do need to move them, right?
Take your crops.
That's right.
Yeah, and so, it's so funny. I mean, some plants will do great in full sun. Some tomato plants will, and others actually need more shade.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, mine will start to burn up if they're in too much
they
sun.
can,
Those yellow, the leaves will turn yellow.
Right. No
So
matter how much you water them.
Yeah, exactly. We also have had really good success with jalapeno plants here. They get as tall as the roof on our house.
Wow, that's
Are you
great.
serious?
I kid you not.
Wow.
Like
They-
sunflowers.
Yes, they
Okay.
grow incredibly tall, and my husband has to try to get up there and pick them. And they're not super hot, which is fine with me. My husband likes them flaming hot.
Right.
But yeah, we make salsa, so we'll plant tomatoes and peppers and jalapenos and a couple of things, and we always make salsa out of everything that we
Right.
grow.
Onions are a lot of work for what you get.
They are.
Yeah.
And I always bury mine too deep because you're supposed to put them basically right on top of the
Right.
dirt. And I always am thinking, oh, well, they'll fly away or they'll do this and they won't. So I always put them a little too far and they get, they're tiny.
Then they
so
don't come up. Yep, right.
Yeah, we still buy the onions from the store, but the rest
Right.
we do just fine. So that may be what I do this weekend. Although I don't know if I was telling you this or not, Kent, but my sister's kids. My sister is a little bit older than me, so her children are a little bit older than my kids.
Right.
And her son is having a special, and daughter, they're having an engagement, like separate, obviously.
Uh-huh.
They're all at the age where they're getting married and
Oh, wow.
everything. So
Oh,
they're
very
having some
nice.
engagement parties, and we're going to go see them and hang out with them.
Very
So,
neat.
yeah, it's going to be a fun
You've got a full
weekend.
weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We've got to talk about the big story, obviously, that's happening around Oklahoma. We had some storms that hit last night in the Enid and Bremen area, and this is some look at the damage that we saw. Several tornadoes, which the National Weather Service will be out today surveying those areas to see what classification these tornadoes are.
Right.
But if you see the video, which we'll show you, it's just incredibly impressive, the tornadoes that touched down. I mean, the videos from Vance Air Force Base, that just incredibly.
I was just talking to Austin. He just got back, and he was talking about It's so hard when it hits your place because just a couple of doors down, somebody's house is fully intact, doesn't look like anything happened.
Yeah.
And then there's your place just completely gone.
Yeah. And you could see even with the tornadoes, when we had the video of the tornadoes that swept through last night, you could see the debris shooting up from the sides of them. So you knew they were destructive immediately. And they said they've had in the Enid area, the mayor there sent out a comment this morning updating everybody on what happened. And they said the response has been incredible from volunteers and law enforcement agencies across Oklahoma who showed up to help with everything after the tornado hit.
That's wonderful. Let's hope that continues because, sometimes after the shock of it all wears off, everybody gets back to their everyday lives. You don't want to leave those folks on their own.
No.
Keep helping them out.
We had the tornado that hit a little more than a year ago. I was almost maybe even 2 years ago now at this point in Sulphur. And I went back and did a year later piece on them. And they said, at first they had so many people who came out to help them. And then now, it's been 2 years now, but back then it was a year later. They said, we still have rubble, just piles of rubble in downtown that need to be removed or, it just takes years.
It does. It completely
to get
takes
over.
Years.
And that was that Marietta Sulphur storm, April 27th, 2024, I believe.
Yes.
Covered.
So right at 2 years.
Yeah.
And they still are picking up pieces.
Yes. I was in the area to go camping a few months ago, and you could still see they were still doing the recovery, but making strides.
Yeah.
It's great to see.
When I went out there, I was talking to the city manager who said it was the response was delayed a little bit as far as getting federal funding to make sure and piece back together some of the things that were hit because, they got approved for federal funding and it took a little bit longer than they planned. But that's part of it, obviously. So,
well, that was the same storm too that did the number on the big warehouse down there that so many people worked at.
The Dollar General or Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
They just recently opened that up about 6-7 months ago. So.
Yeah, because there was fears it was going to not be rebuilt or maybe relocate to another area, and then it was great news when it was announced they were staying.
Yeah, especially since that was like a huge, employer for that neighborhood.
Right, a big economic driver for the whole area.
So. Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk a little bit more about what happened as far as weather is concerned here. And then, of course, the threat for some more possible weather.
Oh, boy.
I know, when we get back. Well, welcome back to Around the Block. We want to give you a little bit more update on the Enid tornado and the Bremen tornado that came through. We were just talking about it a couple minutes ago. We did not mention, however, though, that there have been no fatalities so far in the storm, which I think is a godsend, obviously, after seeing. It is remarkable, incredible. We did get an update, as I mentioned, from the mayor. There were some minor injuries. 3 people were taken to the hospital from that storm, but everyone is, at this point, expected to be okay, which is great. They do have, they are taking donations and supplies at the Garfield County Expo Center right now. So if you're watching this or if you've seen the coverage and you want to give, water, toiletries, food, clothing, anything, that's where you want to take it. That's where they're setting up all of the supplies. Red Cross is also helping out right now to make sure that families that have been impacted have the resources that they need, because obviously whenever your house has been hit, you've got nothing.
Right.
So that is currently happening right now. They also want to stress to stay out of that area. Obviously, some of the media crews like our team will be down there covering it so we can bring you the information you need to know, but they don't want anybody going down there.
Right.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah, they don't need looky-loos.
No.
I
clogging up the
people
roads.
want to go see, but...
Yeah. Make sure that you stay out of that area. And
that area, by the way, is southeast Enid, just a little bit east of Vance Air Force Base.
Yes. Yeah, right by the Air Force Base. A couple of neighborhoods that were hit pretty bad. The Gray Ridge neighborhood, and then one right next to it that was hit pretty bad there. Dozens of people, as I mentioned, hurt. We also have potential for more storms this weekend, which I understand is this Saturday overnight into Sunday.
Right.
So I always hate it when these storms hit at night. because you're sleeping or you don't know what to expect.
Right.
You can't see them as well.
Siren wakes you up. It's hard for storm chasers to stay with it.
Yeah.
So
it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous for sure.
Make sure you download the Forewarn Me Storm app so that way we can keep you updated on the storms as they come through this weekend. Hopefully praying that they're not as bad as they were last night for sure.
And that was a big line and everything, but it didn't fire on the dry line. These were just a couple of those, like as they call them, just big cells, tornadic cells that just those couple, but they both produced tornadoes.
And huge ones, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Emily was talking earlier throughout the week that what they call the cap was not really adding up, but there was potential for a few to pop up here and there. And then you just never know with tornadic weather. It's just so, sporadic, and it's wild.
We were lucky in the Bremen area. That it was headed right for Bremen. They shut down Bremen just on the other side, the east side of I-35. They shut down I-35 so people wouldn't drive into the tornado. And then it looked like it was headed right for Bremen, and at the last minute just kind of nudged away from it just enough, just a mile or so. Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I know it.
And the other tornado track, it was going straight, then all of a sudden goes shh.
Not moved enough.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a problem. Yeah.
It was just wild. Very, very wild.
Sure was.
Okay, we're going to take one more break really quickly, and then we're going to update you on some news stories that are happening. A couple of people getting some honorary degrees from the University of Oklahoma. We'll tell you about that next. Well, welcome back on your Friday to Around the Block. Got Kent and Jacqueline. You okay over there?
Just about. Give me just a half second here.
I totally had a terrible sneeze.
There I am.
You got it?
I'm good. Yes.
Kent was fiddling with things during the break, and I don't think he put it back correctly.
I didn't get my headphones plugged back in the right spot. Now they're good.
Now you can hear us. All right, good deal. So you want to talk about University of Oklahoma, almost at Arkansas. They awarded 3 people recently who have ties to our state with honorary degrees. Their faces, stories, very familiar to you guys right here. Take a look. Here's who they are. Former OU women's basketball coach Sherry Cole, Academy Award winning director and Oklahoma native Ron Howard.
Right.
He looks pretty familiar, doesn't he?
Very Opie.
Yeah, that's right. And Bill Lance, the Secretary of Commerce for the Chickasaw Nation. They're going to be recognized during the 2026 commitment ceremony. That is on Friday, May 15th, with their honorary degrees. The University of Oklahoma says the trio will be given the honorary degrees to recognize their extraordinary achievements and service to others.
That is very, very cool. I love that.
Yeah, that is super cool. Of course, Sherry Cole, just an iconic basketball coach.
Legend, really, around here,
Everyone still knows her, loves her. And then,
she played at OC, played at Oklahoma Christian.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So did you ever see her play or watch her play?
She was a star there. I knew that much. Yeah. Great player. And known for that hair.
That beautiful blonde bushy hair. I love it. And then of course Ron Howard.
Right. His career is
How cool would it be if you're a student getting ready to graduate from the University of Oklahoma, and then in walks Ron Howard, shakes your hand, I'm going to get a degree with you. You can always share that story to your kids at some point.
What you pointed it out, because in 20 years they're going to be able to look back and say, I graduated with Ron Howard.
Yeah, right. And then their kids are going to be like, "Who's Ron Howard?"
I'm already wondering if some of these kids aren't going, "Who's Ron Howard?"
Right, they better know who he is.
Sure.
Man, Andy Griffith was on all the time, whenever I was in college late at night.
We still have it on at our house.
Yeah.
It's so classically funny. Right. Exactly.
We'd have the TV on blaring in the background while we're trying to study or have a study session, and then all of a sudden the theme song for Andy Griffith comes on, and, we'd whistle it along with it.
Or you've been up too late.
Yeah.
3 a.m.
And he's a fine child actor. And, of course, his little brother, Clint Howard, also was.
What was Clint in?
Clint was in a lot of things. He was in You guys wouldn't remember one called Gentle Ben. It was a story about a big bear, a big kid had like a grizzly bear for a.
I remember that.
Dennis
too.
Weaver was the dad in that, but he played little bit parts in Andy Griffith. He was the real little kid. I can't remember what they called him on there. He would walk around and hold his sandwich up. You've seen those? Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen that or
you've
not.
seen it. Look up Clint Howard, and
Okay.
you'll recognize. He did some Star Treks.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he did lots of.
And it runs in the family because Ron Howard's daughter Dallas is also a big actress.
Oh, I
as
didn't
well.
know that.
Yeah, she was in the Jurassic Park movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's a big deal too.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
I think he's a pretty proud dad.
And Dallas
Yeah.
Howard. Is
Dallas Bryce Howard is what I think it is.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she was in the newer Jurassic Park movies with what's that guy's name? Chris something.
Hemsworth?
No,
I don't know.
he was. I can't remember his name. It's. I see his picture. I see his face in my head, but I can't remember his name. Anyway,
you're asking the wrong guy.
I know, right? If you watch Jurassic Park, he was also part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
so
okay.
and remember we had that conversation.
I know who you're
Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's one of the new kind of space age.
Somebody had a dog named Groot, and I didn't know who it was.
Yes, that's what it was. Yes,
it's like, who names their dog Groot? And you're like, Guardians? What's Guardians? What are you talking about? I haven't seen those movies. I'm not too much of a movie buff, but
my son liked them.
They're super popular.
They are very, very.
Chris Pratt?
Is that what it is?
Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt. Okay. Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. As we mentioned earlier, the arts festival is happening downtown, Bicentennial Park, so downtown in Oklahoma City. And it's a big anniversary for the festival here. Oklahoma City Festival of the Arts now open, and they are celebrating 60 years of sharing art and performances and incredible food in the Oklahoma City downtown area. I haven't got to go yet this year, which obviously just opened, but everyone talks about how fabulous it is all of the time. It's beautiful. It's fun when the weather's good.
Right. Sure.
The weather always seems to be a little pesky for the arts festival.
I have lots of musician friends who have played there in the past in various types of bands. So it's a fun place to play. It's just like typical of the arts festival. You just have to be ready for a few raindrops here and there.
It's April in Oklahoma. Right. What do you expect? If you
bust the drought, have the arts festival.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. If you need rain, let's set up the arts festival. You can enjoy stunning visuals. Obviously, more than 140 local and national artists chosen to participate. You have to be a lucky one to be part of the arts festival. As we mentioned, not just art, lots of food, music. You can win awards.
Remember, Caitlin did the story. Said for the first arts festival, the only food they had, they sold ham sandwiches.
That's right.
Did they?
Right. That's all they had.
60 years ago. But I bet that was probably a nice meal.
It's probably a good ham sandwich.
Probably a really good ham sandwich.
Right? Oh, those are tough times back in those.
But now you got to go and get your strawberries Newport.
Right. That's one of the famous ones there. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's happening right now, once again, through Sunday. Bicentennial Park, free. It is free. And the events stretch from Lee Avenue East to City Hall and from Colcord North to Couch Drive. If you want to go out, check it out. Make sure you go out early Saturday.
Basically right on the front lawn of the City Hall.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. USA Today. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but USA Today named 2 Oklahoma City night markets among the top 10 in the nation. 2 of them.
I love that.
Mayor David Holt shared the rankings, saying that we used to roll up the sidewalks at 5 o'clock around here, but Oklahoma City is now a dynamic place to live day and night. Taking the
maybe David rolled them up.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Now he's like, leave them out all night long.
Who didn't?
All right, taking the 7th spot is the night market at Scissortail Park, and coming in at number 2 is the Asian Night Market Festival in October.
I know, that's so cool.
That's a big one.
That's nationwide, folks. That's USA Today newspaper.
2 in the top 10 in one city alone. How does that even happen?
So impressive.
It is absolutely impressive is the best word for
It's amazing what's happened to this town in 20 years, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
building on thing after thing after thing.
Yeah, my husband grew up here and he lived in Norman growing up, and he said, "Oh, you didn't really go into Oklahoma City and downtown
No,
because
there
there
wasn't.
wasn't much to do at
No,
all."
no. All the nightlife was out on the edges of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
now
we
how-
had was just the spaghetti warehouse.
Yeah, for a long time. But the only thing downtown.
Boy, things have changed.
Yes, they have.
Yes.
It's great.
All right, when we come back, we're going to tell you a little bit more about today's bizarre holidays for your Friday. You don't want to miss it. All right, it is Friday, Fun Around the Block, and it is one of our favorite segments.
It is.
It is today's bizarre holidays. I don't know how do you find these, Jacqueline?
I do.
Is there like a calendar list or something?
I can't tell you where I find them, though.
We've got some weird ones here
I
today.
got some weird ones
So
for
this
ya.
is like top secret where we
Yes.
find the bizarre holidays. All right. It is Fashion Revolution Day,
Okay.
Yes.
which I don't really know what that means, but maybe revolutionizing the way that we do fashion, I guess, would be what we
Hey,
would celebrate.
I think there's lots of ladies and guys that like to revolutionize their wardrobes.
Okay.
Just show some flair,
Just
some
do
fashion
something different.
fun.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah,
it.
right.
Hey, I mean, you got some flair
He's-
on your tie today, Ken.
He's
I
always
like
known
that.
for the matching fashion forward tie,
Well, thank you.
pocket
Appreciate
square
that.
combo.
Yeah.
Do my best.
He's celebrating Fashion
He is.
Revolution Day.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Every day.
Also, Firefly Day. When I was a little kid, I used to love catching
Yeah,
fireflies.
sure. They're so cool. National Bucket List Day.
Yes.
So what's
Yeah.
on your bucket list?
I checked off one of my bucket list items with the Ireland trip
Very
last
nice.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
week. That was
Okay.
super fun.
Very
National
cool.
Hairball Awareness Day.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
We were having a debate. Does that mean a cat hairball or does that mean like a hairball that winds up in the corner of your bathroom from all your hair?
Self-interpretation.
Falling out. National Historic Marker Day.
I like the historic markers.
Yeah.
I'm that boring dad that makes everybody get out and read them.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you,
Okay,
Ken.
very good.
National Pigs in a Blanket
Yeah,
Day.
can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
New
I like them.
Kids on the Block Day.
Oh,
New kids like
hanging tough.
the
Yeah.
band.
Yeah,
I think so.
They celebrate the band.
Yeah.
I love
This is
it.
our holiday.
Okay.
And last
do the
one-
Osmonds have one?
Right.
Come on.
Last one is Scream Day. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us on your Friday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.